I don't even know how to approach this one. I was so moved and touched recently by a mother of a child with cancer, and it inspired me to write a talk today. It's one of those things where you don't even know if you should say anything, but maybe somebody should speak up. As long as I have breath to breathe, I guess I'm going to use this voice. Not sure that this is the most appropriate topic in the world, but it is a topic in the world, so why can't we discuss it? There are moments in life that steal your breath and shatter the illusion of control. For a mother, one of those moments is when a doctor looks her in the eye and says, "Your child has cancer." The sound of those words echo through her soul like thunder through a still valley. Everything she thought she knew about life changes in a single heartbeat. Suddenly, her world becomes hospital rooms, lab results, and the quiet hum of machines that seem to dictate her child's future. But amid the fear and the sleepless nights, faith begins its quiet work. When the news first comes, she breaks. We all would. That's human. There's a moment when she collapses to her knees, not out of weakness, but because the weight of love is too heavy to stand under. She asks why, and the silence that follows feels unbearable. But slowly in that silence, she begins to hear something else. God's still, small voice. It doesn't come as a shout. It's a whisper through tears saying, "My child, I am with you in this valley." And faith doesn't erase the pain, but it does anchor her soul. It turns panic into prayer and despair into dependence on God. She realizes that when everything else is uncertain, God remains the same. He is her constant in the chaos, her peace in the storm. There are nights that seem endless, nights when monitors beep and exhaustion blurs her vision. She watches her child sleep, pale under the sterile hospital lights, and wonders how she's supposed to keep going. And then she prays. Sometimes those prayers are long and eloquent. Other times, they're just a single word. Jesus. But God hears both kinds of prayers the same way. He hears the trembling voice that says, "Lord, heal my baby," and the silent tears that fall when words can't form. And it's in those moments that she learns something sacred, that God doesn't always calm the storm. Sometimes He calms His child in the storm. She feels His presence in the small mercies. A kind nurse who takes time to talk. A stranger who donates blood. A friend who leaves food at her door. Those aren't coincidences. They're reminders that heaven is watching. And as the days turn into weeks and she discovers the kind of strength that surprises even her, not the loud kind that demands attention, but the quiet, unshakable strength that gets up every morning, wipes her tears, and walks into the hospital again. She smiles for her child even when her own heart is breaking. She laughs at silly jokes because joy becomes her rebellion against fear. She finds ways to celebrate not the big milestones, but the small victories. The good blood count, a meal her child actually eats, a day without tears. And those moments become holy ground because every victory, no matter how small, is a testament that God is still working. She wrestles with guilt for not being able to fix it, for feeling tired, for wishing it would all just stop. But God doesn't condemn her. He comforts her. He whispers, I chose you for this child because I knew your love would be fierce enough to carry them. And when she feels unworthy, when she doubts her strength, God reminds her that He is her strength. She doesn't have to carry it all alone. Every time she falls apart in His presence, He rebuilds her with grace. Her faith becomes less about asking why this happened and more about trusting who holds them both. A mother of a child with cancer lives in two worlds, the world of fear and the world of faith. But she learns that both can coexist. She can be scared and still trust God. She can cry and still believe in miracles. She can question and still worship. You know, it's in those moments when she holds her child's hand and whispers, Mommy's here. Heaven echoes back. So am I. God is not distant in those hospital rooms. He's sitting right there, in the chair beside her, in the tears on her face, in the heartbeat of the child she loves. He is the steady rhythm in her chaos, the quiet reminder that love never leaves. Sometimes the miracle comes as complete healing, and sometimes it comes as peace that transcends understanding. And sometimes the miracle is simply that she's still standing, that her faith didn't break, that she learned how to trust in the dark. Because miracles don't always look like endings. Sometimes they look like endurance, and sometimes they look like hope that refuses to die. And one day, she will look back and say, we made it. Not because I was strong, but because God was faithful. To every mother walking in that valley right now, God sees you. He knows the sound of your sobs and the ache in your chest. He's been with you in every waiting room, in every test result, in every sleepless night. He hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't forsaken you. You may feel invisible, but you are not unseen. You are a warrior of faith, fighting battles most people could never imagine. And you are not fighting alone. Keep holding on to that tiny hand. Keep whispering those midnight prayers. And keep believing. Because even when you can't see the light still sees you. And remember this truth. God doesn't promise that we'll never walk through the fire. He promises that when we do, we won't be burned. He doesn't promise to erase the storm. He promises to stand beside us in it. You are stronger than you know, and your love is changing the world around you more than you'll ever realize. One heartbeat, one prayer, one act of faith at a time. And when your heart breaks, let your faith speak louder than your fear. When your hope feels small, remember, mustard seed faith can still move mountains. And when you feel like you can't take another step, look up. Because the same God who walked on water is walking beside you right now. So hold on, Mama. God's not done yet. He's writing a story of faith, love, and victory through you. One tear, one prayer, one miracle at a time. God bless you.